Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about deploying application to our cloud. Now, I want to take some time to talk about why we're going to be using Laravel Forge, why we're going to be using the paths that we are using, and why not just deploy to DigitalOcean without Forge. Okay, so Forge is simply a server manager. Okay, it's just going to help us manage our server, do some stuff that are really hard to do on a server by our own. Okay, for example, if we want to deploy to a Forge server or a server that is managed by Forge, all we need to do is push our code to GitHub. But then setting this up in the server, it's not necessarily complicated, but there is a ton of work that you have to take care of. For example, you have to set up another Git remote on your server, and then every time you listen to a push to your GitHub, then you automatically pull from GitHub. That's what Forge actually does, but then it automates that process for us. The second reason why we want to use Forge is because managing stuff like cron jobs, managing stuff like deployment failures, managing stuff like queues and database instances in a production server are really time consuming, really hard to do, but Forge automatically does this for us. Okay, so I'm no affiliate of Forge or something. It's a great service. I use it day to day, and I really recommend that you use it. Okay, so Forge is not free, it has a paid plan, but then for the purpose of learning Forge and learning how to deploy with Forge, you can go ahead and sign up for the free trial. And I think you can try it for about 10 days or so you can actually practice how to deploy an application with Forge. Okay, so let's get into it. Forge gives you the possibility of setting up a server with DigitalOcean, Linode, Amazon services, and there's another. So you need a server provider. So DigitalOcean is the one I go with. It has the cheapest plans. It's very easy to set up. The other ones are great, but it just depends on your choice. Okay, so go ahead and set up a DigitalOcean account, and then on the DigitalOcean account, you just need to come to your accounts right here on Forge and then add DigitalOcean. Okay, so for example, if I come to my service providers, you see I have DigitalOcean added right there. Okay, so you can also add Linode, Amazon, or Vultr. Okay, so for example, if you wanted to add DigitalOcean, this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna put in your client name right here, and then it's gonna redirect you to DigitalOcean to authenticate. For Vultr, you just need to add your API credentials, and it's gonna take care of that. Same for Amazon. So you just need an account with one of these, meaning you're gonna be paying for the servers on DigitalOcean, and you're gonna be paying on Forge just to manage the servers. Okay, so I'll head over to the homepage, and to actually create a new application, we need to understand the terminology. So Forge simply has the terminology of servers and sites. So on a server, we can have multiple sites. So for example, if I deploy a new server to DigitalOcean, it's going to ask me for the credentials, the name of the server, what size of server do I need, where to deploy it, and all of this is going to create a new server on DigitalOcean. Then it's going to install everything we need to deploy a Laravel application. So this is what makes it easier. When we deploy a Laravel application without Forge, it becomes very complicated to install everything that Laravel needs, but then Forge does this behind the scenes for us. So once you create your server, you can see your server listed right here. So if you get into one of those servers, so for example, I have a server for Badcast, and it has all of the sites that contain Badcast. So in the server, you can see all the sites for that particular server. So you can create a new site. So think of a server as, well, what DigitalOcean provides for you, a server, and then a new site is simply, a site. So if I want to deploy different instances of Laravel, I can do that. So in this case, we want to deploy maybe udemy.badcast.com. Okay, because remember, we are actually having a server right here. You need to go to maybe DigitalOcean to configure the domain name to match the server. Okay, and then on DigitalOcean, you need to set up configurations that would allow subdomain routing like this. We need to choose the root domain, which means it will be this particular site will be available on udemy.badcast.com, and then the project type is a Laravel project, and the web directory is public, so we can go ahead and add the site. So right here we have the site provisioning, and that's it. Automatically we have a brand new site with Laravel. Okay, so if we head over to that site, we need to decide how we want to install the site. Okay, so for example, we can pull from GitHub, or we can create a brand new WordPress site. In this case, we want to pull from GitHub.